and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old.
The marriage of Aisha with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
And then she
wasallam.
remained with him for 9 years. I'm just reading the hadith that talks about
she
the
was
Prophet.
young.
Yeah, but why is that a problem?
Biblically, God is the author of all that is good in the world. We know through objective experience that having sex with a 9-year-old is wrong.
No, I don't.
You don't know that.
My accusation is you're an atheist in effect.
I'm an atheist.
You don't follow God because you follow atheist, secular, liberal values
Do I?
rather than values that come from divine law.
Can you prove that?
No.
You were not raised in secular values.
I was raised in a Christian home where we have Christian values, not atheist values like you now follow.
Right.
Because you now abandon the
So
Bible.
were you taught you could have sex with a 9-year-old? Were you taught you could have sex with a 9-year-old? You weren't, were you? You're Chris. Oh no! Oh no! Prophet Muhammad, he's a reliable source, yeah? You agree with Muhammad? He is a guide for the Ummah?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. That's Surah 33, Ayah 21. He himself, according to authentic Sahih Hadith, he had sexual relations with Aisha, whom, according to Hadith, was 6 years old when he married her and 9 years old when he consummated the marriage.
Where does it say that?
Okay, I'll show you the verses. Give me a second.
The thing is, even to this day, the age is not confirmed, first of all.
Yes, it is, by multiple attestation.
No, listen, it's not
Yes, it is.
confirmed. Listen, it's not confirmed. Secondly,
It is in
even
Hadith.
Listen,
But you're denying the Hadith.
Why has it become a problem in the last 100 years, for instance, and it was never a problem before? No one was talking about it before.
Probably
Now you
because
wanna
it wasn't
talk
so
about
much of a hot issue.
Yeah, it wasn't an issue. So
Sure.
maybe because
So that's okay then.
Sorry?
Well, my point is that you...
But before there wasn't an issue because maybe it wasn't as bad that you guys are talking about. For example, you're saying 6 years old without any means of proof or anything like that.
All right, let's read some hadith. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, 3896. Narrated Hisham's father. Khadija died 3 years before the Prophet departed to Medina. He stayed there for 2 years or so, and then he married Aisha when she was a girl of 6 years of age. And he consumed that marriage when she was 9 years old. Okay, let's read another one. This is Sahih al-Bukhari 5133. Narrated Aisha. So this is Aisha herself speaking. The Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage when she was 9 years old.
The marriage of Aisha with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And then she remained with him for 9 years. I'm just reading the hadith that talks about the
she was
Prophet.
young.
Yeah, but why is that a problem?
Why is it a problem consummating a 54-ish-year-old man having sex with a 9-year-old?
What is the problem?
First of all, listen.
just stating it is not.
It's a moral problem because most people consider that abhorrent.
Where do you get your morality from?
The same place that you do, but for some
from
reason you
God.
think it... Are you telling me it's acceptable?
No, I'm asking you where you got your morality from.
I just answered you, from God, same place as you.
Oh,
So
from
you
God.
think it's acceptable?
Oh, I see. So in the Bible, what's the
Right.
average age of consummation
Was that said to be
of
good?
marriage?
Was that said to be good?
No, my question
Can you
to
find me a
is,
verse
The
eight?
average age of consummation.
No, you haven't answered my question. Is that said to be
Yeah,
good?
yeah,
Show
I
me
have
a
no
verse.
problem with that. I have
Yeah.
no problem with what Hamid did at all. What he did
Okay,
is
so you...
perfectly acceptable.
Is it good?
Yes.
You think what Muhammad did when he was around 54 years age,
So what
consummating
age
the
would
marriage,
you
is
say?
good?
What age would you say is good? What
Unequivocally
age would you
good.
say is
So
good?
how do you respond to that as a Christian? What is your
I think
Christian critique?
I think that's horrible.
Why?
Because a 54-year-old man having sex with a 9-year-old.
biblically-
Do you know she was playing with dolls when she did this?
Can I
We
ask
know
you-
she hadn't achieved
Let me
puberty
ask you,
according to the
biblically,
hadith.
What's wrong with that?
Biblically, God is the author of all that is good in the world. We know through objective experience that having sex with a 9-year-old is wrong.
No, I don't. No, I
You don't know that.
Let me tell you what. Would you like to hear me
You
why
don't know
biblically it's not?
that a 9-year-old
It's
having
not
sex with a
wrong.
9-year-old
I've
is
already told you,
wrong.
it's perfectly fine. Let me explain to
Man.
you why. Biblically, this is a Christian who agrees with the Bible.
Yes.
Biblically, what's the age of consent?
There isn't any specific age given. However, there
What's
is,
the
for
norm?
example.
What's the norm? How old? for
Wait.
example-
What?
how old-
No,
let me-
hang
let
on.
me explain.
My
How old is
morality
Mary
does not
likely to
derive
be?
from the tribe of Israel. You understand that?
Oh, I see.
How old is the age of Mary?
How old was Mary, do you think?
How old?
When
I don't
she
know.
had-
I don't know.
when
How
she
old was
consummated
Mary?
her marriage?
How old was Mary?
According to Western biblical scholars, how old would Mary have been?
They would say they don't know because there's no
No,
source
they
that says
do.
so.
For
They do
example,
know. Can you
an
quote the
often
source?
cited figure is 12 years old.
Do you know where that comes
Do you
from?
accept
Do
it's
you know where that
acceptable
comes
for an
from?
older man
No.
to have
Do you
intercourse
know where
with a
that comes
12-year-old?
from? You just made a claim. I'm asking.
It comes,
When-
from a certain Catholic encyclopedia.
Which
You can read
references
it
what?
online.
Which references
Well, you
what?
can Google it.
No, you're being deceitful now. You either don't know this or you're
if you're
deceitful.
gonna be personal,
What-
if you're gonna
No,
be
no, because you've just told me something. I know, I've read what you've just mentioned. What does that Catholic encyclopedia reference?
It
Tell me.
references-
Go on. What does it
I don't-
reference?
off the top of my head, I don't remember.
You don't know. You're quoting things you don't know. It references a Gnostic gospel. Are you aware of that?
Let me just point this out. The average age of consent in the Bible
I've just called him out
is
on a lie.
puberty. All right?
I've
So
not.
if
I've
a
just
woman
caught you out
reaches-
on a lie.
No, you didn't.
I
You said,
literally.
didn't
You
know
just
an
told me
answer. That's
that
not a lie.
scholars accept. No. You just told me that scholars
There
accept
are
she was
some
12.
scholars who
I asked where
say
you got that
that
from.
Mary
You said
was
the Catholic
12 years
encyclopedia.
old
Oh,
when
so it's
she,
some scholars now. It's some
Only
scholars.
some, yeah.
Oh, no, you said the majority of scholars earlier.
Well, I said some.
No,
I
you said the
some.
majority
Okay,
of scholars.
You're quibbling now. You're quibbling.
No, I'm not quibbling. I'm pointing out
Why did
you're
God
using
not
weasel
prohibit-
words
okay.
to try and make
Is
this
it not the
seem less
case that
painful than it is.
puberty was the norm biblically for marriage in the
Let
Bible?
me explain to you.
Can you answer
Let
my
me explain
question?
to you.
Can you
There
answer
is
my
a world
question?
of difference
Can you
between what
answer
an
my
average.
question?
I'm explaining to you.
Okay.
There's a world of difference between what an average man from the tribe of Israel does
Yeah.
and what is supposedly the moral example for all of humanity does,
Jesus
and
did?
then proclaims it as a moral good for
What
the
about
world.
Jesus then? According to Jesus,
Yeah, it doesn't
what's
answer.
the age of
You're
what's the
watching
age
someone
of
not
consent
answer this.
for marriage? In
It doesn't
Israel,
mention
according
it.
to the law.
Does not mention it.
Ah, so what's the normal practice then?
I'm
in
not,
Israel?
why am I being
The
held to the
normal
normal
practice
practice?
is
I want
puberty.
no.
So when a
you're
woman and
you're
a man
he's
reach,
ignoring me.
biological
He's openly
purity,
ignoring me.
they can actually get married. That's the norm in rabbinical law at that time.
I
Now,
want to point out
so
you
how
have
could
just
they be?
said
They
that he
could
has
be
no
10
moral
years old,
problem
they
with
could be
54-year-olds
12
having
years
sex with a
old.
9-year-old.
So wait, you don't get
You
your
just- and I
morality
gave you
from
many
the Bible.
times to
You get your
backtrack
morality
that.
from secular liberal values in the last
No,
50 years.
no. Where
You
we
don't
are
get your
today
morality
partially has come
God.
from Judeo-Christian
You're a
values,
secularist.
but you're
Which
opposing
means,
those
in
because
effect,
you're
you're an
for.
atheist.
Okay, we're just
You're
talking
an
over each
atheist.
other.
We are.
I'm an
We are.
atheist now.
Yes, in
I was a
effect you
Christian
are.
10 minutes
Because
ago.
your
Now I'm an
morality-
atheist.
Your morality
Come on,
comes
man.
from the West, which is secular.
The
not
West
from
used
God.
to not be secular, it used to be based on
But
Christian
now
Judean
it's secular,
values,
and
which
you
is
get
where
your
our traditions
values
come from.
now
You
from a
oppose
secular,
those values because it
liberal,
doesn't come from that. It
context.
came from Arabia,
So your
it came from
values don't
7th
come
century
from God,
Arabia.
which you initially claimed, which
I
now
still
you're
claim
being
it.
deceitful.
What do you mean?
because
I
they
still
don't
claim
come
it.
from the Bible.
I'm-
They come from
yes,
the
I'm
secular,
claiming my
liberal,
morality comes
atheist
from objective
environment.
morality.
And what you've done is you universalize your regional, local morality.
Your
which
morality
comes
isn't
from
universal, is it?
Western liberal
Is
values.
your morality
And
universal?
now you're using it to judge
Won't answer.
Muslims and all
Won't
of
answer.
mankind. Now this is typical.
It's definitely not the age of
Western
9 before
arrogance.
puberty.
This is
Listen,
Western
listen.
arrogance.
I'm only making a
Westerners
claim
think they
that
can
a
preach to Muslims.
Yeah.
And the rest of
No,
the
no.
world
My
about
claim
what
is this: a 54-year-old having sex with a prepubescent 9-year-old is wrong. A prepubescent 9-year-old cannot have sex with a 54-year-old. That is my claim. Listen. I am not the greatest moral example to mankind. Muhammad is. I am challenging what Muhammad said. Do you understand that? What do you mean? What are we talking about?
And this is
I showed you the verses.
abandoned God.
Listen.
He has atheism.
Listen, Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old. You need to accept that. You need to accept the tafsir says that.
My accusation is you're an atheist in effect.
I'm an
You don't
atheist.
follow God because you follow atheist, secular, liberal values
Do I?
rather than values that come from divine law.
Can you prove that?
Yes,
Go on
okay.
then.
Because you are coming from a position of secular liberal
You're gonna-
values.
he's gonna
in the
prove
West.
what I
But
believe,
I'm just,
apparently.
you're interrupting.
We've talked over
Until
each other
very
for the last 5
recently
minutes.
In the West, if you look at the age of consent laws in the United States,
So I'm
in
now
Britain,
being judged by
in
the age of
Christian
consent
Britain in the
laws
19th
and
in
not
the
by what is the
19th century,
greatest moral
the age of
example,
consent was
which is
7.
Jesus Christ,
Was
and it
7
is
years
Muhammad to
old.
you.
In Britain, in Christian 19th century.
Is that my
but
moral
in
example?
97 But
Is that my
now,
moral example?
He comes from
Is that my moral
atheist,
example?
secular liberal values.
He won't
and
answer.
he's using it
He
to
cannot
criticize
answer.
Muslims.
No, I'm criticizing
he's
the
no
greatest
longer-
moral example
he's
in
no
your
longer
religion.
a
In your
Christian.
religion.
But he's pretending to be a Christian,
I'm
pretending to have
pretending.
godly
It's all
values,
just an act.
But the historical
Whereas he
evidence of
confidently
Christian
affirms
countries-
that it's
Look
okay
at
to have sex
America.
with a child.
In many-
And he
What's the problem
consummated
with
his
They're
marriage
saying
when she was
the-
9
what's
years
it
old.
called, The marriage of Aisha with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
And then she
wasallam.
remained with
Why
him
is
for
it-
9 years. I'm just
They're
reading the
saying it was,
hadith that
she
talks
was,
about the
she was
Prophet
young.
marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, but why is that a problem?
Think about that.
There were no
Think
age of
about
consent
that.
laws.
Muslims, this is what you have to
Now
affirm.
it's secular.
He has made it clear for
Now
you.
it's secular.
You have to
He
affirm
supports
it's okay for a
Western
54-year-old to have sex
secular
with a
liberal
9-year-old.
values. So do not
Keep
be
that in
deceived,
mind.
folks.
He has
These
affirmed
Christians
this.
are pretending
I never
to be religious,
came and told
but
this.
they don't
This is
follow
what Muslim
God.
story.
The only people
Muslim
who do follow
hadith
God
tells
are
us.
traditional Christians, which you're not, 'cause you're an atheist. In effect.
Oh, am I?
And
Am I a big
Muslims-
Richard Dawkins fan?
Muslims who follow.
Do I love Richard Dawkins?
No, you follow secular atheist values. You don't
Oh,
follow
okay.
godly values.
So you don't
I've
at
already
all. You don't at
demonstrated
all.
that.
You don't at all. So tolerance is not a value of yours.
Okay.
Is tolerance a
So
value of
I
yours?
think we've established that
So
in
he doesn't believe in
Christian
any
Britain,
secular
in the
values
19th
according to
century,
him.
The age of consent was 7,
Ah,
but in his
is that something that
atheist
I have to
secular
follow?
country,
Is that something
which
I have
he
to
now
follow?
supports,
Do you have to follow Muhammad's
you follow
example?
atheism.
Do
You
you
follow
have to
atheism.
follow Muhammad's example?
Of course.
There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old. He has to follow it.
No,
I at least applaud
let's
your
address
honesty
Aisha.
because at
Aisha-
least he's being
Aisha
honest
was
about that.
biologically a woman.
No, she wasn't. She was
according
playing with
to-
dolls according to your
No,
hadith.
because why did Muhammad wait 3 years?
We know
He-
why.
he
Al
was
Tabri tells us
engaged to
why.
her
Al
from
Tabri
6
tells us why.
Why?
Because he was waiting to give her the bridal gift. Al Tabri says that in your sources.
But he waited
So don't
to,
use that argument.
Because
That is
when
a
she
bad
was
argument.
a woman, then the consummation
No,
of the
he was
marriage
waiting
could
for a
take
bridal
place.
gift,
Now, this is
and
a
it was
biblical
Aisha's
principle.
father who gave
A
him the
biblical
bridal
law
gift.
says You
He
get
is
married at
contradicting
puberty.
Al-Tabari.
So
He's contradicting
he's
Al-Tabari.
an atheist. You're an atheist, sir,
It doesn't-
pretending
it
to
doesn't
be
have
a
a
Christian.
particular age or
So
a
don't
particular
follow
time.
atheist
So
Christians.
our morality
Follow
comes
real
from Jesus
Christians
Christ,
who
who
believe
did
in
not have
God's
sex
law
with a child.
and follow
But Muhammad
Christians
did.
and Muslims who also believe in the divine law. But these are fake Christians. They're
Well,
not
you can
real
infer it
Christians.
through many things. So, for example, you could say having completed puberty is one example. And that will come from Ezekiel, I think it's chapter 16,
He
verse
can
6.
come from a
But
tree,
his,
he can come from the ground,
unfortunately,
he can
as a
come
Muslim
from a sky.
yours,
Why he
it
choose
would
to
have to
come
be
from a
what
little
Muhammad
girl
did and what
vagina, private part?
Quran
Can you
says
ask him this
and
question?
and Tafsir. I
ask
read
him
the
that
Tafsir as
question.
well.
I'm
so I
just
wanted
saying
to
that
be
his
fair.
values come from
Ibn Kathir
atheism
affirms
and
that
secular
yes,
liberalism.
you
They
can have
don't
sex
come
with someone
from
who's young enough to
divine
know.
law. And so he's misleading you and deceiving you when he argues
as part of
he's
fiqh,
not
as
arguing
part
from the
of
Bible,
jurisdiction,
he's
that
not
came
arguing from
later.
Christianity, he's
Sure.
arguing from the
But
Daily
it
Mail,
doesn't come from
Sky
the
News,
scriptures, it comes from
BBC,
legal
and all of
rulings
these
afterwards.
media. And he's weaponizing
Your scriptures
atheism,
say that, you know,
pretending to be a
like,
Christian to attack
feel free to look
Muslims
into it.
who haven't given up on divine law. So just don't be deceived by this. This is a concept. An atheist
You're
concept.
very honest, and I appreciate your honesty.
Thank you.
He
Well, I wish
affirms
you would be
that
honest
a
in your
54-year-old
atheism.
can have sex with a 9-year-old. and this
Your
is a good
values
thing.
don't come from God, they come from atheist
I'm pretty sure
secular
your values
morality.
will also follow secular values because I imagine you were born here, yes? Were you born here?
Yes, of course I was born here.
Right, so
Where were
you
you born?
were
Where were
probably.
you born?
I was also born here.
Oh, you're English,
You
are you?
were probably
Oh, jolly
raised
good.
with the same secular values that everyone most likely here.
Actually,
or
I
most
wasn't.
people.
No,
You were not raised in
No,
secular
no,
values.
I was raised in a Christian home where we have Christian values, not
Ah,
atheist values,
right,
like
right,
you
right,
now
right,
follow.
right.
Because you now abandon the
So
Bible.
were you taught you could have
abandon
sex with a
biblical
9-year-old?
morality.
Were you taught you could have sex with a 9-year-old? You weren't, were you? In your Chris? Oh no!
I was
Oh
taught
no!
that
Well, your
biblically-
Islamic
You
faith
see,
teaches
you're
that you
weaponizing your prejudice and your bigotry against Muslims.
I love Muslims,
Because
and I love you.
This is all a lie. This
Can.
is all a lie.
You know a lot
This
about
is
me
all
for
a
someone
lie.
who doesn't know
This
me.
is all a deceit.
It's all deceit.
I, as an Englishman, can spot a lying Englishman.
Right,
I
okay.
tell you, folks, he is
There's a-
deceiving you. He does not love Muslims.
Apparently
If
Englishmen
he
have a
did,
magical
he
power
would speak with
to
Muslims
know when
with
other
respect.
Englishmen are
I can
lying.
read it in your. As an Englishman, I can see the lie in your face.
About what?
You don't,
What's my
you
lie?
don't like Muslims. You
You-
hate
you-
Islam and
I
you
hate
Muslims.
Muslims.
I know because I can read it in your face.
Okay. Well, I don't say
That's
silly
it
things
for
like
now.
that.
I'm not
I
going to talk to
affirm
atheists anymore who pretend
atheists.
to be Christians. He pretends
Jesus
to be a
is Lord,
Christian, he's not a
Deus
Christian.
Vult, Christ is risen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
May you turn to God at
May you
this
turn to
time
Jesus.
and abandon atheism and hatred of Islam and Muslims.
May you
That's my
seriously
message to
reconsider
you.
having,
Okay.
well,
Can you answer?
thinking having sex with 9-year-olds is good.
This gentleman has a question
I
for
have
you
a
as well.
question for you. Can you? Why you?
Do you want to shake hands?
Can
Will you shake
answer
my
a
hands?
question? Can you answer a question?
He's asking you a
What's,
question.
what's your name,
He's
sorry?
asking a
Will you shake my hands?
question.
Will you shake my hands?
Another one.
Here you have an example. You have an example of a Muslim who at least is honest.
I want to ask a question.
Right, no.
If
Just
you,
give me
why,
2 minutes.
Why
and
you're,
give me
no,
2
no,
minutes.
no, I'm asking a question.
No,
I'm
2
asking a
minutes.
question. No, I was asking before. I want to ask this question.
My friend, can you wait 2
your
minutes,
God, your
please? Can you
biblical
wait 2
God,
minutes?
your
Wait 2
biblical
minutes.
God, your biblical God,
Just 2 minutes.
your biblical
2
God
minutes.
can come from a tree, can come from the ground, can come from the sky.
This is the example
Why
of someone
he
who
choose
is
to come
insecure in
from
their faith
a little
and they
girl
have to-
private
they
part?
have to heckle you because he can't deal with me.
Tell me.
What-
Can you answer my question?
Do you have 3 microphones?
My question.
Listen,
no, they
listen.
are the others.
All
they are
three?
not mine.
Wow,
yes,
that's amazing.
Not me.
Listen,
Not
listen,
me.
listen.
They are 3.
Okay.
Why your biblical
Listen,
God?
listen. Can I
he
just finish up and then I'll
when
answer
he
you?
can.
Can I just
when
finish
he
and
can.
I'll
No,
answer
answer
you?
my question. I will
No,
go. I will
see,
go. I will let you
You're
do.
heckling me. You're
No.
heckling me.
Can you tell me?
Let
Can you tell me? Can you answer
I
my
am
question?
going to answer
Can
your
you
question.
my
Could you just let me
no,
do
go
this?
ahead. Go ahead. Answer my question.
I'm going to ignore you now.
No, do it.
I'm
No, do
ignoring
it
you,
longer.
yeah, I'm
No,
gonna
do it
ignore you.
longer. Just answer my
you know I
question.
don't mean
I
you
will
harm.
leave. I will leave.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna
because I
talk
want
over
to be
you.
in the video, in the middle of the video before you do conclusion.
Unfortunately,
because they will cut it.
Many Muslims.
I want to
promise you
know
won't cut.
why your biblical
In-
God, he can come from the ground, from a tree, from the sky, from wherever. Why he choose to come from a little girl vagina? Go ahead.
You're done.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
I'm
answer
gonna
my
talk to this
question.
camera.
All the time he come to talk about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
You
wasallam.
have examples
Can a
of Muslims
Christian
who are
answer the
very
question?
insecure with their faith.
Can the Christian?
They don't know
look,
how to
look,
defend their
look,
faith, and they don't
look,
know how to defend
He can't
Muhammad.
read Numbers
And
31,
this causes
17, 18,
concerns.
because that proves his
Muslims
biblical
need to
God.
reject Islam
He
and embrace the true religion of Jesus Christ. And I pray
can
for
you?
my friend
No,
Sami
no.
here.
He already proved
I
to
hope
you.
for him all
He
the
proved
best.
to you. Can you
hope he
answer my
turns to
question?
Christ.
Can you answer my
I hope he
question?
gets
Can
saved.
you answer my
And I
question?
wish him
You
all the
can
best.
deceive me. You can joke
I
that
have
you
no
can,
problem with
you know
any
you are
Muslim. I
expert
love
in
all
playing
Muslims.
games. You are expert
Thank
in
you very
playing
much.
games.
God bless.
Can you answer my question? Can you answer my question?
I'm done now.
Did he say that he will answer the question?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I'm
Yeah?
allowed to. What was
No,
the question?
go ahead.
I was talking to the camera. What was the
Okay, I said my question is, your biblical God, okay, you all the time accusing the
Yeah.
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam about pedophilia.
sure.
Now I'm saying,
Well, I don't say that.
I'm,
I
I'm
actually
saying,
just say he slept
I'm
with a
saying,
child, which
I'm
is what
saying
they
your
say.
biblical God, he can
Yeah.
come from a tree, he can come from
God
the
is all
ground.
powerful,
Why?
yes.
He can come from the ground, he can come from a tree.
He is
can
all
come,
powerful,
Why
yes.
he choose to come from a little girl vagina?
He is all powerful. Why did in your religion, why did the
Look
prophet
at the
Jesus
answer.
come from
Look,
a vagina?
look at the answer. Look at the answer.
Well, no,
from
you have the
Aladdin.
same problem.
Can you answer?
You have the same
Can you answer
problem.
my question? Answer my question.
Listen.
Before,
God can
not
do all
ask me
things.
with a
Well,
question. Can you answer my
listen.
question? Answer my
God
question.
can do all. You've got three.
Yeah, go
God
ahead.
can
go
do
ahead.
all
Like
things.
these people, they will
I
hear
know.
you properly.
I'm trying to funny you're holding
100%.
three microphones.
You can't change
I've
even
never
a
had
single
three
word.
microphones on me.
Well, go ahead.
Listen,
Go ahead.
God can do all things, yes. And so if God wishes to do that and to be incarnate through the person of Mary, he can do so.
Okay.
That is your
if
answer.
Now, wait.
I
No,
was
no,
saying
no,
to-
no, no,
wait,
Stop. You are
You,
deceiving. I didn't
in
ask
your
you that.
religion-
I
in
didn't
your
ask you that.
religion-
I didn't ask you that. I
He
didn't
doesn't
ask you
wanna
that.
hear. He doesn't
Now,
wanna hear.
if I'm a
Come on,
magician,
Muslims, it's not- it's
if
not
I'm a
insecurity.
magician,
This is not insecurity.
listen.
I answered his
It's not
question.
insecurity. You know, you didn't.
Ah,
If I'm a
Sammy,
magician,
Sammy.
I can change myself to a cat,
What?
and I went to a little girl
If
to
you-
touch her private part, to touch
What are you talking
her
about?
body.
What are you
How
talking
you will
about?
call me?
A magician? What?
Yes,
What are you
if
on
I'm a
about?
magician-
What are you talking about? Cats and magicians?
If
Listen,
I'm a magician,
Sammy,
listen to me. Listen, if you focus.
I am listening. And I answered you,
Okay.
and then you were
If
insistent
I'm a
on
magician,
talking
no,
about
you
something
didn't.
else.
You didn't. You
Right.
didn't. You
Sammy,
didn't.
I answered
you
your
didn't.
question.
What you said
Sammy,
God can do whatever. I'm
Yes,
asking
do you believe he can? Do you believe he can?
I'm asking you why he choose. That
He's-
means
he's
it
not
will
gonna
be.
let me speak.
Look, if I'm a magician
don't-
and I
I
can
don't care
transform
if you're a
myself
magician.
to a cat.
Sammy,
And they start to touch private part of a little girl.
I don't
how
care
you
about
will call
magicians
me,
talking-
You will call me a pedophile. That's what
okay.
your biblical God
Sammy,
did.
Sammy,
Okay, can you now tell me why
Sammy,
your
Sammy,
biblical
Sammy.
God, he chose instead of coming from
Sammy.
a tree, if he's not pedophile,
Sammy.
like you accused the Muslim about
This is-
Prophet
this is
Muhammad
just a
sallallahu alaihi wasallam,
monologue, yeah.
why he choose to come from a little girl private part? Can you answer that?
Sammy, I don't have to jump
Look,
through hoops. I
if
can
he
actually
can't,
just feel.
go to Sam
I already
Dawah,
just
go
did.
to All Lovin, go to ASF Dawah, and you will find the video. If he cut this piece,
Okay. Well, I won't cut it.
huh? You will.
Okay. Well,
will.
we'll find out.
You
Yeah.
will. What is the
We'll
name of your channel?
find- Chris at Speaker's Corner.
Chris Speaker's Corner.
Thank
Then
you for
go,
that.
go in it and see it.
Oh,
if
that's nice
if
of you.
it's-
I
if you see
appreciate
it.
that. That's good of you.
Can you answer my question then?
I've already answered your question.
No, you didn't.
Come on.
No, you didn't.
All right. Listen.
You
Have a
didn't.
lovely day.
Yeah,
And I'll
you
speak
too,
to you soon.
You too.
All
But
right.
just
Well,
you
take
prove
care.
just you prove to the people that your biblical God instead of talking about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have to be shy and shame of your biblical God first in
Oh,
first
okay.
place.
Well, you can have your
Thank
nice
you.
wrap up for
Thank
the
you. And
cameras.
run like a coward.
Okay. All
And he
right.
say,
See, that's not very nice.
I want to talk to him to have a discussion.
I just
with
had
him.
a I
When
just had a
he's the
talk
one
with
who
you.
ran away like a coward.
Okay. Come on, Sammy. You can do better than that. You can do better than that.
Yeah, he's still here. He's still here. He didn't go.
I just
Still here.
yeah. I
just
just
only he
you know,
become
like
a
you're like
cameraman.
camera.
He become a cameraman. Still.
Sorry, I got inspiration from you, Sammy. I look up to you as a cameraman.